Welcome back to the new professional StarCraft 2, a best-of-3 battle. Let me introduce the best golden retriever to ever grace us with his presence in StarCraft 2. It's MaxPax. Still unknown who he is, but what he does is not in doubt. On the other side of the map, though, with no respect for players, Korean or otherwise, the most entertaining Zerg out there right now. Fight me on that. It's Dark, the final boss. We're starting out on Dragon Scales in this best-of-3 match. The new map pool, the new patch. It is time for our obligatory breakdown of what we have of the patch notes so far. To start, creep spreads a little bit slower. The cooldown is 3 or 4 seconds longer here. Whereas creep spreads from hatcheries when they finish slightly quicker. Makes it a little easier to be consistent about walling off, stuff like that. But overall, creep can't get across the map as far, and has slightly less vision. As for Protoss, shield battery overcharge is about 25% less effective. Amusingly, the amount recharged by overcharge goes from 1440p to 1080p. I mean, 1440 to 1080 shields. Sorry, but I didn't actually know the full number. That's a lot of shields, but also a significant nerf. Disruptor radius was slightly buffed again. I know, don't panic. It went from 1.5 radius down to 1.35, and now it's 1.375, which all you geometry nerds out there, you can fill me in on exactly how much that's filled in, but Archons can slip through those smaller walls. Carriers, interceptors, and their threat priority means they'll get targeted a lot more easily too. But what about Dark Templar, Winter? Well, what about him? Still dangerous to anyone who doesn't have detection, but Dark is not one of those people. Here come the Adepts. He's trying to sell. He's trying to sell a Adeptol, it looks like, but Dark knows. You're not pulling one over on this guy here. In fact, I've seen him counter DTs without detection before, so having detection is a crutch for someone like Dark. All right, Adepts will split off the DTs. Looks like they just want to participate in the fight here. Oh, I think the detection was revealed. Juggling the Adepts back, but there is no Spore Crawler, so these are just a Battle Templar here. He knows that without a lair, it becomes very difficult to actually deal with them. Dark doesn't, he sees nothing but the glimmer, but he's managing to, the attack, you hear the attack, but it's not even going off. A phantom attack. Well, there's a Spore up here. Dark's only have 42 drones. That's the real rough part of all this, is while you might be able to shut down the Dark Templar, the Dark himself is struggling economically. He's going for the Spore. The Spore's on the run. What is going on? Being protected by the Lings, who are body blocking a physical meat shield there. And the transfuse on the Unburnt, but on the ramp, eviscerated a Ravager. Dark getting caught. Those Ravagers have quite a big radius themselves, so not too hard to get a hold of there. Observer joining the fray. MaxPax, a very technical opener here. Wow, look at that production tab. We got a Disruptor. We got Prism Speed. We got Blink on the way and +1. So he's going to continue with his dangerous dance. He's speed running the double Ds of destruction. Dark Templar and Disruptors. The two kind of like highest risk but highest potential units Protoss has, especially in the early game. There's a Spire on the way for Dark, though. And Mutas are quite clearly a strong option against someone who opens up without a Stargate. In this case, there is going to be Blank, but there's just not that many. There's 3 gates. He's adding on 5 more. We're going up to 8 gates here. But even Blink Stalkers are more of a deterrent than they are a direct counter to the Mutalisks. Roach, speed on the way. The double Ruptor. He's going to load the shotgun. Both barrels, it looks like. And we're still... Oh, did he show the speed prism? I mean, it's not hard to figure out what he's going for when you see that prism zooming across the map. Dark at 60 drones, but Dark does not require very many. He's getting +1 melee, roach speed. You can see where he's going with it. Roachling, and with 700 gas in the bank, very likely the mutas are up next. Well, here comes the Ruptor. Fires a shot. Another Ruptor leaning in, looking for he curves it back. The wraparound doesn't find too much. Are we on? Okay. That doesn't seem like the right number. Ah, that's more like it. 3 drones. So, not nothing. Almost nothing, but not nothing, technically. So, here comes MaxPax. Another point. Forge upgrades are slightly quicker. 7, 9, and 11 seconds, adding up to nearly 30 seconds quicker if you go straight to +3. Makes it a little easier for those gateway units to gain parity. But, there are enough gateway units here to get the damage done. Here comes the Ravager Zergling. Oh my god, he gets a roach. It looked like that Disruptor had, it was open season, but really, everything was just open. The mutas show up. 4 stalkers, already killing probes. 4th base gonna go down. Dark, supply blocked right now. I think he lost a few overlords. A recall. Blink stalkers trying to chase, but they cannot fly, unlike the mutalisks, who are happily flapping their way through the mineral lines. 11, 12, 13 probes so far. Not critical damage yet, but definitely a significant momentum reduction for MaxPax, who killing that 4th, great, amazing. MaxPax has a 4th, though. Didn't actually, it looks like Dark didn't notice it either. So MaxPax will be able to replenish the probes if he chooses, and he's at 69 drones, which is nice enough for him. It's still just a ground army. Without Phoenixes, eventually at some point, even with Archons, you're going to struggle to deal with the muta count. But, the mutas are coming back in. Dark not overbuild. He's at 16. Well, he's going to 20. It's a muta composition. I think at past 15 mutas, your army is mutas. Like, that's the highlight. That you're no longer opening for everyone's favorite band, Roachling Bane. But instead, for once, at least, once in a while, you get the mutalisks. +1 flyer attack is done, helps those bounces as well. DT slicing through. Gonna get surrounded, but there's no Overseer. There's no Overseers. And MaxPax gonna take full advantage. He sees the army with the DT as the most dangerous observer. There's a couple Disruptors, fires a shot. Gets a Ravager. The mutas are coming in, but he gets the Prism, probably the most valuable part of all this. The Disruptor either got canceled or hit nothing. The end effect is the same. The Archon's doing a lot of damage, but MaxPax not quite able to find the angle. The DT still going to work on that left flank. Down goes another Archon, a valuable pickoff. But the DT still slicing through the hatchery. It does take a bit, but Dark a bit lackadaisical on the detection here as he brings the army across again. He kind of crushes that ground-based Protoss, though. The mutas are quite a force multiplier. If there's no splash damage, he could really use Storm. High Templar slightly faster alongside those observers. Not that that necessarily helps when they wander to the front of things against the mutalisks, but the muta count is up to 25, and he's not done. And why? Like, it's just Stalkers. Stalkers 1v1 or 25v25. Mutas are favored. The higher the numbers, the more mutas, the more those glaives are going to have an effect, and the more you're able to isolate small parts of the army and murder them with the stacked up mutalisks. Blink Stalkers on the left and the right boxing out. MaxPax is at 103 army supply. He's actually got more workers right now. The income in favor of the Danish Retriever. And 18 more links. 7. How many? Okay, that's too many mutas. No. I'm calling it. 30 mutas. You can't. Well, there's no Archons. There's no Storm. There's no Phoenixes. I guess it's not. MaxPax is not building anything that's going to help deal with such masses of mutas here. He's fighting. There you go. Since the Stalkers are terrestrially bound, they have to kind of trip over one another in order to fight, whereas the mutas can just pick one side of the fight and start slicing away. Ooh. Dragon skills. I'm getting some real Cosmic Sapphire vibes from the map right now, but main base, even the Colossus joining, it can also cliff walk. The mutas just found their way to the back of the mineral lines and are having their way with them. 5 more probes going to go down. Stalkers moving to intercept. You can't recall mutas. He's just going to fight some of these Stalkers here. Yeah, it loses a few, but the Stalkers are just chasing the mutas around. They have the run of the map. He's building more. He's still maxed out. Ground army on the right flank. Oh my god, more roaches and lings. The Stalker Colossus straight out of 2012 and might have wanted to stay there as the mutas are picking it apart right now. MaxPax is maxed out, but does he have a plan for taking advantage of it? Like, he needs to fight. This is going to become a base trade, I think, because, well, we're just staring at it. Nobody's moving. Another DT. 12 probes went down. They have exactly the same worker count. The muta's still swinging in, but with the Zerglings, he can pick the fight, and he blocked down, which means he can't block back up. Recall, but the mutas find the fight, and they murder the Stalkers. The Zergling cover was more than enough to take advantage of that. A split-second decision is a permanent loss for MaxPax. And now the production under attack as Dark once again guts the mineral lines. Stalkers forced to scramble back. There's a few DTs on the other side. Shield battery helping out a bit. Dark losing probably more mutas than he should, but a lot less mutas than he could. But more mutas onto the fourth. 19 probes down. There's something happening on the other side of the map. The army's coming back. A DT. How much has been done here? Well, 25 Stalker, 27 mutas. This is over the last 2 minutes. They've been fighting for 2 minutes. Essentially, it's 15 seconds without units being lost is when the fight resets. So they've been continually trading something for the last over 2 minutes. MaxPax has 46 Stalkers, 2 Colossi, very helpful against the Zerglings, but the Colossi aren't with the rest of the Stalkers as the mutas close in and start to slice through. +3 attack for MaxPax, +2 melee and flyer attack for Dark here. And the army's coming back again. How long before there's no home to come back to? It keeps feeling like Dark is picking apart MaxPax, but the supplies are still very much... they're a lot closer than you'd expect. How many... 49 Stalkers. He's lost 40. Dark does not care. He's coming in again. Around and around and around we go. Oh, he used the blink. There is no now the main base is gone. At some point, you gotta go. You're going to lose everything. You can't keep coming back. Dark is showing why Protoss players feel obligated to build Stargate. And he's doing it with casual style. Using the unit almost no one builds because it's so easily countered to just rip apart MaxPax. MaxPax has had... he was maxed out at the same time multiple times here. But it doesn't seem to... oh, the Colossi. Oh my god. It's brutal. Okay. Maybe there was a moment where MaxPax could organize a base trade. That moment has passed. Dark... MaxPax is bleeding out. He agrees. He says, let's stop the bleeding. Oh god. Well. Yeah, that did... the Blink Stalkers did not get the job done. Thank you to Dark for demonstrating what happens when you don't make a Stargate. It's not even so much Archons that can counter, as Archons are not the most agile creatures either. At some point you need Phoenixes. Maybe Storm, but that point was about 25 mutas ago. Alright, game 1 goes to Dark. Not the most surprising outcome, but MaxPax is doing really well with the DTs, but this is where we've seen MaxPax falter times in the past as well. Which is, he kind of gets laser focused on a style he wants to play, like that kind of surgical DT prism into Ruptor Blink. And Dark's like, no, no, no. Sir, respectfully, no. And you just kind of have to, you don't really, you don't get a say in the matter with Dark. He's not big on asking your opinion. Hatchery. I Winter, when you skip past the first 2 minutes of ZVP, we miss out on all the action of the probe flirting with the minerals. So that way, maybe the drones don't mind quite as much. I sometimes zone out watching the builds, but I will say, early game ZVP. MaxPax, let's get some cannon. When was the last time we saw a cannon run? New patch or otherwise? I mean, I haven't cast any Has games recently. Maybe soon. We have to catch up on that, but... And this is Babylon, by the way. Quite, like most of the new maps, quite large. Though a relatively standard layout. Even got a ramp to the natural to work with. Well, MaxPax goes Stargate. Or, I mean, Stargate. It's Stargate or Twilight. You don't go Robo, because Robo is, well, Has goes back to the builds that no one does because they have such obvious counters, but they sometimes work because they're so obvious. But the like nearly no gas Robo Prism Immortal Slow Zealot. Get like 32 probes, you mine like 2 in gas total, and then just slowly walk your way in with an uncomfortably large amount of tanky units. That doesn't look like it's happening. What looks like it's happening is 2 Zerglings just kind of get in. So who needs to send an Overlord in when you can just walk Zerglings in the front door? Now, the Twilight doesn't really tell you anything. Besides, it's not a Stargate, which is a lot, I guess. So it tells you a lot, but also very little. If you want more great descriptions of qualitative things, go elsewhere. But if you want more great descriptions in general, I would generally recommend you hit the like button. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you recovered from game 1 enough. You got your pizza rolls or whatever. Yeah, I'm paused. And we're back. Oh, okay. I guess that's how we're doing it. I only travel by shade. Could you move, sir? No. Well, we got glaives. Resonating glaives. The fanciest glaives. It's straight up... no, 5 gates? Okay, just mass... 50 shades with glaives. MaxPax, one of MaxPax's favorites. He's beaten Serral with this style. Though actually I think it's better suited to beating Serral than Dark. Like most cheeses. Depth shading. Glaive's nearly done. How long on the Prism? Still a long way off. He's just going to go with that first round of Adepts. Try to get things started. And right now, MaxPax does have a worker lead. So, Adept shade through. There are some roaches out. The thing about Adepts is, much like the Dark Templar, you don't necessarily get a ton of economic damage. You can, but you limit their economy just by forcing such a strong response. 41 to 34 workers here. Dark does not have a lair. He doesn't have any Evo chambers for upgrades. It is simply, he's limited his economy just by building these roaches and legs, which means MaxPax so far a success. Well, oh god, that's not success. Oh, well. He lost the Prism, which is bad, but he killed a bunch of Ravagers as well as Lings and gets into the main, which is good. And stay tuned, I'll tell you how to feel about more things as time goes on. He's gonna... Oh, does he even care? Yeah, he just murders... Oh yeah, that's good. Unless you're a Zerg. Well, we've reached that awkward scenario of I've dealt with the source of the problem, but I haven't dealt with the problem itself, which is the adepts in the room here. There's just a bunch of adepts, and now there's more shades heading towards the third. He's just losing all his drones. Dark? Well, looks like he's being sliced apart here. I don't... Is he dead? There's DTs on the way. There is only a spore at the third. And MaxPax has had perfect vision of, oh no. He's building spores. Dark realizes. But what are you going to do? He's going to try to protect his spores. Nope, too late to body block. Ah, yes, my thoughts exactly when losing to DTs. Thank you, Dark, for really... I think he was trying to, like, switch the language to the keyboard. We've all been there. And, But... Well, MaxPax takes one. And in very MaxPax Protoss fashion... Dark manages to eventually tap out. I don't really know what went wrong. It's just MaxPax, I think... I can't pinpoint it. I'd have to... It just felt like a slow decline. And then at some point it gathered enough momentum, it became an avalanche downhill. It just kept getting worse. GL. Good luck. No fun, though. I do not wish fun upon you. MaxPax may have said something in the countdown, but I choose to believe he did not. Because if in that 3-second countdown before the game starts, if you say something, it does not register in the replay. But okay, so if I'm Dark, I'm not hyped about that. Once again, I'm doing that whole empathy thing so well. It's like, when I lose to DTs horribly, after a bunch of glaive adepts essentially ransack my base, I don't love it, personally. Like, I'm not a huge fan. Wow, really bold take. You know, I'm such a small fan, I decide on a big cheese. All right, well... This is not the first, and I doubt it'll be the last time we've seen Dark Proxy Hatch on this map. Though, he's not showing it. He's done the... So MaxPax blocked the natural. Dark sent the drone out like he's taking a third. At his third. He did not stop at his third. Let us summarize with that. MaxPax did not see it. It's right outside. This is calculated. Look at that vision. It's not until the hatch is completely done. It's close enough, I think, that he can build spine... Oh! Okay, patch change. Creep spreads slightly quicker out to the edge, which means he could get a spine crawler. Well, I mean, he could have gotten a spine crawler, so you can... I thought he was going to wait for the creep to spread and then build the spines right next to it. He's going to have to reburrow. It's a spine crawler rush at the front. MaxPax, what are you going to do? There's a forge, a shield battery behind it. I don't know if that's a tight wall there. It's definitely not here, obviously. Oh, MaxPax, he didn't have the minerals and the Zerglings got in! Oh, God. This is... Much like last game, this is where very small things can quickly become large issues. As those spine crawlers are ready to start slamming down the door, dunking their impaler tentacles into all of MaxPax's buildings, whether he likes it or not. And yes, that's the name of the attack, for those of you, we'll say lore nerds. We'll go with that one. Well, slamming through, getting the shield battery. I don't think the other spine's quite... No, it was. He was just lazy. There goes the battery. They're just reaching over the top. It really feels like they shouldn't have. Third spine crawler. This is Dark when he's this is angry Dark here. No, let me in. This is one of those games where I think Dark truly doesn't care if he wins. Like, win or lose. This is what he was going... He might not even think this is a reliable strat, but... Dark has definitely lost series doing builds that were out of spite. We've seen it many times before. Well, there goes the front wall. He did get a few cannons behind. There's a Stargate on the way. Of course, Queens will be on creep here, adding some more creep tumors. Looks like he lost the active tumor here, but... There's still a probe on the other side. He's scouted... Wait, banelings? We're just now realizing. MaxPax might be like, okay, well, that's not gonna... Oh my god, those are banelings! He's going for the pylon! Oh no, he whiffed it. Oh, he could have gotten the pylon. There is one pylon at the back. I guess he might micro back the spines, or he might not care. A shield battery overcharge isn't as good as it once was, and it won't be enough. He's just busting. The energy's about to run out. The forge is about to go down. More banelings. It will not stop here. Dark is breaking through the front. The creep is encroaching upon MaxPax's property. Well, Dark is evicting him in relatively concise manner. Oh god. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to foreclose on this Nexus, sir. It looks like you have a Zerg infestation. But you're the Zerg! I don't make the rules, okay? Well, this looks bad. There's a bunch of Zerg, a decent probe mineral walk there. Still, MaxPax has more workers, but Dark is doing a very good job of making sure that does not stay the case. He gets down to the natural, but who's gonna deal with these spines? Void Ray comes out, needs to deal with the Baneling. Yo, you can't really lose the Nexus. That seems like an important part of existing in Star. Oh, watch out, Banelings everywhere! Oh, he's getting through. MaxPax still has 17 probes. There's still a couple cannons on the low ground. He's running, there's literally no safe space. The only safe space is between his forge, which he rebuilt, and his cannons on the low ground here. Well, no, there's more Banelings in the corner, waiting for their moment. The Void Ray comes up. Queen Transfuse. Spore Crawler. Is that cannon in range? I think those are out. Yeah, they can hit the pylon. Here come the Banes. MaxPax was not paying attention, but... Wow, he whipped it. He got 2 probes, but that could have been game-ending. But instead, just a little bit more added on. All right, more micro, but the cannons kill a queen. It's getting real sloppy in here. Oh my god, they're all over each other. Dark loses a queen to cannons. More probes die for MaxPax. Spore Crawler burrows. All the queens are dead. There's still a cannon on the low ground. The probes are ready to fight. Void Ray's at 18 kills, most of which are Zerglings, but a few very just making Banelings. The Void Ray going nowhere. It's gonna target through. MaxPax still has 15 workers. The cannon might have enough to actually fight here. He just keeps sending Zerglings in from his Proxy Hatch. A bunch of Banelings in the main. Void Rays don't kill him that quick. He's building another Void Ray. He's actually dealing with this. One of them died. Looks like Dark is fixing to expand to the natural here. Or the Zerglings just keep trickling in. The Ancient Cistern has a leak here, and Zerglings are coming out of it. Has MaxPax stabilized with 2 Void Rays? I think he had... Dark is still at 17 drones, and he has been since pretty much this started. Oh, wait, the Zerglings. Yeah, Dark has been making Banelings this whole time, but I think Zerglings are perfectly fine. The worker count is still, like... He can afford more Void Rays. And I mean, that is all MaxPax can build outside of probes and cannons. So he is limited to Void Rays, probes, and cannons. So On today's episode of Is It Bronze League or is it a professional match of StarCraft 2? Void Rays charge up, but the Zerglings, he has to cancel the charge. Well, the Queen's kind of tripping over. He's trying to get the spores up the ramp, but he unburned all the spores. More Zerglings on the way. He's got a cannon in the mineral line now. There's no gateway. He can't build a cyber core. The Oracle! The Oracle! Well, there's 2 spores here, so... there's still an Oracle! Well, I guess he could have been building... Why did I think he could only build Void Rays? You can build other units out of the Stargate. You don't have to build Void Rays. Maybe I'm the Bronze. Well, the Oracle is actually super important. It has 4 HP. But that is 3 more than it needs. Cannons once again pushing towards the ramp. Zergling scouts. Now's the time. The cannon's not done. Will he commit? Still in a holding pattern here. Oh, he charges up, burns through 1. And the Zerglings will force the Void Rays back. MaxPax now has the worker lead. A gateway at the top of the ramp. I'm not sure what he's looking to accomplish. Maybe... Nope, not sure, actually. They're trying to delay Zerglings running by a bit. The Queen's gonna fight back. The Spore Crawler, very important. I think without the Spore, MaxPax could win this fight easily. Queens have a lot of transfuse, but the DPS is not... Where are you going? There's still the Oracle. Dark is taking his 3rd hatch. Not the exact expansion pattern you usually expect, but... Well... another Spore Crawler back at home, and MaxPax has survived the onslaught. And now the cannons are going to help clear the creep. The Oracle can as well. 5 Void Rays now. Losing that Queen to cannons may have dictated the pace of this game. I think if he had 1 more Queen earlier, he could have just busted up this ramp with his defense. Defense is a very loosely used term here. But losing a Queen to cannons definitely slowed down the potential of this push and has made it more of a contain than a game-ending move. MaxPax, to his credit, did not panic. His pro micro has been about as good as it possibly could. And now... well, oh my god, he's gonna build a fleet beacon. Stasis ward activates. He's gonna wall up with his fleet beacon on 1 base. Tempest? I think Tempest is actually the answer to this. Outrange the Queens and the static defense. Dark is... I hesitate to call it macroing. These Queens can't come home unless they want to have a very dangerous and difficult walk. He's getting +1 ship weapons. Can't even kill a... Can you even transfuse? You can transfuse creep tumors. Is it worth it? You could just make 2 more creep tumors for the same amount of energy. That's not the point. It's a matter of principle. Well, here we are. And somehow, the game's still going. Tempest on the way. Yeah, that first game really gave us false expectations for this series. This is more like it. Well, the Zerglings trying to... There is no stasis. There is now. The Brenda, no! An admission of defeat. But the Void Rays are faster because they can fly, much to the dismay of Dark's knitting crew here. Oh no, they're all off creep! But there's so many queens still. Well, actually, who's flanking who? The wandering queen packs. There's a Tempest on the other side. It looks like they may make it home at this rate. They've gone all the way, all the queens built across the map. Dark has abandoned his position. The transfuses are enough. This isn't even how many queens. The army is 12 queens, 19 Zerglings, and 6 Banes. Let's be honest, both flavors of Lings are kind of grandfathered in here, if you would. The Revelations did not get rid of nearly enough creep tumors. There's still going to be creep over this. The hatchery will finally be dealt with. Oh, the broodlings! Ah! The broodlings hunting probes. MaxPax is running out of minerals. Dark is now on 3 bases. It's taken a while to get here. Here comes MaxPax, who's getting flux veins. He started a carrier, probably out of reflex. And here comes the army. There's 14 queens now. The whole queen moot is mustering. This only happens once every half moon. So, a rare sight. And there are no moons above this planet, so we're not even sure what prompted it. Well... the Tempest... well, here we are. I don't think he's gonna make any progress, but he's also... He just can't expand. Like... There's just too many creep tumors. Dark has made it far too annoying. Oh god, that queen count is so damn high. There's just so many queens. Those are +1 weapons. He's trying to fight. He's working the shield. No, the Oracle. The random spore. Well, I mean, the queens are chasing the Tempest. Which doesn't even seem like a thing that should happen. The creep is spreading in both directions now. Dark has been building queens, say 17. You can't kill us all! We remember Brenda, who died to cannons, and we cannot abide. We will have our vengeance. In this life or the next. Alright, so right now the most highly advanced Protoss siege units are getting thrown back by the Mass Queen. There's Corruptors. When did that... Dark has 55 drones. Dark is actually good to go. Like, oh no. He's looking for reinforcements. The Corruptors can be transfused. Yes, that's a lot of Void Rays, but... Oh, he's burning through, but the Queen, there's way too many Queens. He's done it! Absolute madman Dark. He took those DTs personally. Oh my. Wow, what? I have not seen such a... I mean, I have. Probably the last time Dark played, but once again, the final boss pops his enrage. And MaxPax suffers for it. All credit to MaxPax for holding on that long. Most players would have been very dead in the first 5 or 6 minutes with those Banelings. But MaxPax clung on. But it was futile in the face of such darkness. What do you think? Check out Jimmy. Check out this. It's probably another Dark versus Byun, statistically. But thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. I hope it made your day a little bit better. Good luck. Have fun. Stay chill.